21-year-old mom is also under investigation for having inappropriate relations with several other prisoners.
So who was the prisoner who captured Denise PLL's heart?
Within the tightly controlled environment of prisons, maintaining professional boundaries between inmates and prison staff is of paramount importance. While the vast majority of staff uphold their responsibilities with integrity, in extreme cases, relationships have gone beyond limits, with physical relationships occurring in prison cells. Join us as we look deeper into the complexities of maintaining order and security within the prison system and explore the ongoing efforts to prevent and address these challenges. Denise PLL. Former Clinton Correctional Facility supervisor Denise PLL has been sentenced to 1 year in county jail for engaging in an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. PLL pleaded guilty to promoting prison contraband, sexual abuse, and official misconduct. In addition to the 1 year jail time, she was ordered to pay $13,250 in fines and fees. PLL's relationship with the inmate began in June 2017 while she was working as a training supervisor in the prison tailor shop. Prosecutors stated that PLL had fallen in love with the inmate, and she admitted to sending him cards, letters, and money during their several months-long relationship. The court documents revealed that PLL visited the inmate twice and engaged in kissing and touching over their clothing. During the sentencing, PLL expressed remorse for her actions, stating that she had reflected on her behavior and accepted any punishment deemed appropriate by the court. She acknowledged her foolishness and claimed to have learned her lesson. The case drew significant attention due to its similarities to the prison break at Clinton Correctional Facility in 2015. 3 months before PLL's employment, former prison seamstress Joyce Mitchell, who we will consider next, assisted convicted murderers Richard Matt and David Sweat in their escape. But do you really think PLL's 1 year in jail and $13,250 in fines is enough charges for her crime? Joyce Mitchell. Joyce Mitchell was a former prison seamstress who was involved in the 2015 prison break at Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora, New York. Mitchell assisted convicted murderers Richard Matt and David Sweat in their escape from the maximum security prison. Mitchell's role in the escape plot was significant. She provided the inmates with tools and access to restricted areas of the prison, which enabled them to carry out their elaborate plan. But for reasons best known to her, Mitchell backed out of the escape at the last moment and did not accompany the inmates. Following the discovery of the escape, a massive manhunt ensued, capturing the attention of the nation. Matt was killed by law enforcement officers during the search, while Sweat was captured and apprehended after a 3-week pursuit. In 2015, Mitchell was arrested and charged with promoting prison contraband, facilitating escape, and criminal facilitation. She eventually pleaded guilty to charges of promoting prison contraband and criminal facilitation and was sentenced to a maximum term of 7 years in prison. Mitchell was also ordered to pay nearly $80,000 in restitution. She is currently serving her sentence at Bedford Hills Correctional Facility in Westchester County, New York. The prison break at Clinton Correctional Facility and Joyce Mitchell's involvement garnered significant media attention. The story has since been adapted into an 8-part series called Escape at Dannemora, directed by Ben Stiller and aired on Showtime. The series explores the events leading up to the escape and the subsequent manhunt, offering an exclusive glimpse into the events that transpired that day. Aishia Gun. A probationary officer at His Majesty's Prison, Berwyn, Aishia Gun engaged in a relationship with an armed robber named Khurram Razak, leading to a scandalous case involving explicit photographs and videos. The duo exchanged highly sexualized and pornographic content and even live-streamed themselves engaging in sexual acts. In a particularly audacious act, Gun smuggled a pair of knickers into the prison for Razak, concealing them inside her bra. The police discovered incriminating evidence when they searched her home, including pictures of the couple kissing and hugging. Shockingly, some of these images were taken inside Razak's cell. Not only that, Gun purchased clothing for the inmate and placed bets on his behalf. But then again, that's not where it ends. Even more concerning, Gunn shared screenshots of WhatsApp conversations among her fellow prison officers with Razak. These conversations discussed sensitive topics, including search tactics employed by the officers. This breach of trust further compounded the severity of the situation. You must agree that this case involving Aishia Gun and Khurram Razak garnered significant attention due to the scandalous nature of their relationship and the illegal activities they were involved in. The exchange of explicit content, smuggling of contraband, and sharing of confidential information painted a picture of serious misconduct within the prison system. Gunn's actions violated her professional responsibilities and undermined the integrity of the prison environment. The incident raises concerns about the effectiveness of security measures within His Majesty's prison, Berwyn, and highlights the potential vulnerabilities that exist within the prison system. It also underscores the importance of maintaining strict guidelines and protocols to prevent inappropriate relationships between staff and inmates. The discovery of this scandal prompted a thorough investigation into the conduct and practices of the prison staff. So what was her sentence? Well, Gunn was sentenced to 1 year in jail. Is this fair enough? What do you think? Abigail Matthews, 32-year-old prison officer. Abigail Matthews found herself involved in a scandalous relationship with an inmate named Mark Rhodes, who was serving a lengthy jail term for burglary. Matthews, who was responsible for Rhodes' welfare, wrote him numerous letters expressing her desire to be with him and even made plans to move to London together once he was released. The court learned that Matthews and Rhodes developed a relationship while working together at the prison. As Rhodes' personal officer, Matthews sent him between 30 and 40 letters, expressing her romantic feelings and intentions for their future. Their relationship progressed further, as they would meet up and have discussions about their plans. The pair discussed the possibility of moving to London together after Rhodes's release, and Matthews even began applying for jobs with the Home Office to facilitate their relocation. With time, Matthews expressed fear of the potential consequences, mentioning an article she had read about another prison officer facing punishment for being involved with an inmate. During a holiday in Italy, Matthews contacted Rhodes' brother through Facebook Messenger, requesting that he not report the relationship to the prison authorities. Despite her plea, Rhodes' brother made a complaint, prompting an investigation into the matter. While abroad, Matthews reached out to her co-worker and friend, Sam Flower, confessing that she had made a significant mistake and seeking his assistance. Flower, in an attempt to cover up the relationship, allowed Rhodes to use a phone in an office where calls could not be monitored. He also took Rhodes to phone his brother, hoping to persuade him to abandon the complaint. But their efforts to conceal the truth ultimately failed, and the matter was brought to light. Both Matthews and Flower were sentenced to 8-month jail terms, suspended for 2 years. In addition, they were ordered to complete 150 hours of unpaid work. The court recognized the seriousness of their actions, highlighting the breach of trust and the potential harm that can arise from inappropriate relationships between prison staff and inmates. The case raises concerns about the need for strict adherence to professional boundaries within the prison system. Prison officers play a crucial role in maintaining order, security, and the rehabilitation of inmates. Engaging in relationships with prisoners undermines the integrity of the correctional system and compromises the safety of both staff and inmates. Emily Watson. Another female cop caught with an inmate is Emily Watson, who was a 26-year-old prison officer at His Majesty's prison, Berwyn, near Wrexham, who engaged in a sexual relationship with John McGee, a drug dealer serving an 8-year sentence for causing death by dangerous driving. McGee had killed a man while attempting to escape from the police, and for that, he bagged a heavy sentence. The relationship involved intimate encounters in McGee's cell, including on Christmas Day. Watson and McGee maintained regular contact through a secret iPhone 6 that McGee concealed inside a PlayStation games console. Additionally, Watson sent explicit photos and videos of herself to McGee. Watson, who resided on Jerusalem Road in Linthwaite, Huddersfield, claimed to be naive and believed she was in love with McGee. She had recently come out of a long-term relationship when the illicit relationship began. Upon reflection, Watson expressed deep regret for her actions, acknowledging the impact they had on the family of the man McGee had fatally struck. Recognizing the gravity of her behavior, she was appalled by her own actions. The court sentenced Watson to 12 months of imprisonment for her involvement in the illicit relationship. The case attracted attention due to the breach of trust and professional misconduct exhibited by Watson, who was entrusted with upholding the rules and regulations of the prison environment. Elise Hibbs. Elise Hibbs was a prison nurse from Manchester who found herself embroiled in an inappropriate relationship with an inmate while working at His Majesty's Prison, Park in Bridgend, Wales. Admitting to misconduct in a public office, Hibbs tearfully revealed that she had been manipulated by the unnamed inmate and had become entangled in a situation she couldn't escape. She received a 6-month prison sentence at Cardiff Crown Court. Hibbs had been employed at the Category B prison since September 2018 and first encountered the inmate while providing him with medical treatment. As concerns arose regarding the inmate's behavior, he was eventually transferred to His Majesty's Prison, Manchester, on May 2021. However, the separation did not deter their connection. In an unexpected turn of events, the inmate, employing the help of his mother and a friend, managed to locate Hibbs on Instagram. After establishing contact, Hibbs shared her mobile number with them, leading to a series of 3-way conversations where the friend ingeniously held 2 phones together to facilitate communication between Hibbs and the inmate. Over the course of 5 weeks and 5 days, the inmate meticulously fostered the relationship with Hibbs. They exchanged a multitude of text messages and engaged in numerous calls, some of which were made through the prison phone system and subsequently recorded. Their discussions delved into various topics, including the inmate's possession of an illegal mobile phone and his opinions on prison corruption. The unraveling of this illicit affair began when investigators discovered Hibbs' phone number on the inmate's approved calls list for inmates. This discovery ultimately led to her arrest. In court, Hibbs pleaded guilty to the charge of misconduct in a public office, acknowledging the inappropriate nature of her actions. Gemma Breen. Another female prison officer at His Majesty's Prison Prescode found herself in a scandalous situation when her illicit relationship with a prisoner was uncovered. Gemma Breen affair came to light when a photograph surfaced, capturing Breen and Stuart Mark Davies in an embrace on a sofa. At the time, Davies was serving a 5-year sentence for Class A drug offenses. The court learned that Breen and Davies began exchanging messages while she was working at the prison. Over a span of 6 weeks, the 39-year-old prison officer engaged in communication with Davies, referring to him as her boyfriend. The nature of their relationship was exposed when they met, while Davies was on home leave in October 2019. The unraveling of the affair was prompted by a feud between Davies' estranged wife and his mother. During their ongoing dispute, they exchanged messages online, and Davies' ex-wife discovered that he had a new girlfriend and had apparently moved on. Concerned, she reported the situation to a probation officer who subsequently informed the prison authorities. Please note that there was no evidence to suggest that the relationship between Breen and Davies was sexual or involved any other illicit activities. The charges against Breen were related to her misconduct in a public office due to her inappropriate relationship with a prisoner. Breen pleaded guilty to 1 count of misconduct in a public office during her court appearance. As a result, she was sentenced to a 4-month curfew. The court acknowledged that there was no evidence of sexual misconduct or other illegal activities arising from the relationship. While the case involving Gemma Breen and Stuart Mark Davies did not involve explicit or illicit behavior, It brought attention to the importance of maintaining professional boundaries within the prison system. The case also brought about the need for regular training and education for prison personnel to ensure that they understand the ethical expectations of their roles and the potential consequences of engaging in misconduct. Subscribers pick. This incident captured by the CCTV camera showing a female police cop caught with an inmate attempting to engage in an intimate act is deeply troubling and has far-reaching consequences. Such behavior undermines the integrity of the criminal justice system, erodes public trust in law enforcement, and compromises the safety and security of correctional facilities. To prevent such acts, robust measures must be implemented, including stringent background checks, regular monitoring of staff, inmate interactions, comprehensive ethics training, and strict protocols for reporting and investigating misconduct. Also, fostering a culture of professionalism, accountability, and zero tolerance for inappropriate relationships is vital to ensure the highest standards of conduct among law enforcement personnel. Tell us in the comment section what you think about this picture. Kowana Jenkins. Kowana Jenkins, a former detention officer with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, has been charged with multiple offenses related to inappropriate contact with an inmate. The incident came to light when a contraband cell phone seized during a shakedown of the Fulton County Jail revealed video evidence of the misconduct. Jenkins was subsequently terminated from her position and arrested. The charges against Jenkins include 2 counts of improper sexual contact by an employee or agent, 5 counts of violation of oath by a public officer, 2 counts of reckless conduct, 2 counts of cruelty to inmates, and 1 count of obtaining, procuring, or giving a prohibited item to an inmate without authorization. Jenkins had been employed with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office since December 2019. In late January, a sheriff's strike team conducted a shakedown in a maximum security wing of the jail. During the operation, 11 cell phones, along with other contraband items, were confiscated. Upon inspecting the confiscated phones, investigators discovered a video on one of them showing Jenkins engaged in inappropriate behavior with an inmate. The footage depicted Jenkins sitting on the inmate's lap and kissing him. That's not all. The video also revealed that the inmate made a specific request, saying, "Give 'em to me, give 'em to me." In response, Jenkins provided the inmate with a pair of designer eyeglasses from Cartier. Once the authorities became aware of the video, Sheriff Pat Labat was promptly informed. He took immediate action by terminating Jenkins from her position and ordering her arrest on various charges, including violation of the oath of office. The case highlights the serious breach of professional conduct and ethics that occurred within the correctional facility. As a detention officer, Jenkins was entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining the safety, security, and well-being of the inmates. Charlene Diane O'Banion. Yet another former deputy at the Montgomery County Jail has been sentenced to 100 days in jail after pleading guilty to engaging in improper sexual activity with a person in custody. The incident involved Charlene Diane O'Banion, the former deputy, and Jacob Parker, a 28-year-old man who was incarcerated at the Conroe Montgomery County Jail while O'Banion was employed there. Authorities became aware of the situation when O'Banion and Parker shared a recorded phone call on December 7, 2021, during which they discussed their sexual activity. This prompted an investigation into the matter. During an interview with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, O'Banion admitted to engaging in oral sex with Parker on November 17, 2021. The encounter took place in an area of the jail that was not easily visible. O'Banion explained that due to a lack of floor workers in B Quad, a housing section within the jail, staff members would recruit volunteers from another housing unit to perform cleaning duties. O'Banion and Parker took advantage of this situation and found a secluded area where they kissed and engaged in sexual activity. O'Banion stated that this incident occurred only once. The case highlights a serious breach of professional conduct and ethics within the correctional system. O'Banion, as a deputy at the jail, was entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining the safety, security, and well-being of inmates. Engaging in sexual activity with a person in custody not only violated the trust placed in her, but also raised concerns about the potential for abuse and exploitation within the correctional facility. The recorded phone call between O'Banion and Parker served as crucial evidence in bringing the misconduct to light. It emphasizes the importance of monitoring inmate communication and implementing measures to detect and prevent such inappropriate relationships. Savannah Dean. Savannah Dean, a 28-year-old personal officer at HM Park Prison in Bridgend, found herself embroiled in an inappropriate relationship with inmate Michael Wheeler. The relationship developed while Wheeler was serving his jail term, and it involved sexualized phone calls, photographs, and messages. The affair between Dean and Wheeler lasted for several weeks, spanning from December 2018 to January 2019. Concerns about Dean's behavior arose within the prison authorities, as she was noted to be overly friendly with Wheeler. In response, a search of Wheeler's cell was conducted, leading to the discovery of a box containing notes, cards, and photographs from Dean. The content of their communication was described as highly sexualized, with references to kissing and discussions about their desires. As the relationship progressed, their conversations became heated, particularly when Dean attempted to end the affair. She eventually attended a voluntary interview where she made full admissions, acknowledging her involvement in the inappropriate relationship. Dean attributed her actions to personal difficulties she was facing at the time. Dean was given a 6-month prison sentence suspended for a year. She was ordered to complete 80 hours of unpaid work and 14 days of rehabilitation activity. Jennifer Gavin. Jennifer Gavin found herself entangled in a scandalous affair with robber Alex Coxon while he was incarcerated at His Majesty's Prison, Berwyn. Their relationship involved acts such as kissing, exchanging photos via WhatsApp, and accepting a sum of $150 to smuggle a mobile phone into the prison for Coxon's use. At the time, Gavin was at a low point in her life, having recently ended a long-term relationship. She was described as having self-esteem issues and believed she was in a genuine romantic relationship with Coxon. The court determined that she had been manipulated by Coxon. As a result, Gavin was sentenced to 8 months in prison. The case shed light on the vulnerability of individuals with low self-esteem, highlighting how they can be susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. Gavin's emotional state and the recent end of her long-term relationship likely made her more susceptible to Coxon's advances. Coxon, taking advantage of her vulnerable state, convinced Gavin that they were in a genuine relationship. Their illicit relationship involved various acts of intimacy, including kissing, which occurred during visits to His Majesty's Prison, Berwyn. They also exchanged explicit photos using the messaging platform WhatsApp. Gavin agreed to smuggle a mobile phone into the prison for Coxon, accepting a sum of £150 for her involvement in the illegal activity. The court recognized that Gavin's actions were driven by her own personal struggles and emotional vulnerabilities. Her self-esteem issues and the belief that she was engaged in a genuine relationship with Coxon clouded her judgment and led her to participate in illegal activities. The judge sentenced Gavin to 8 months in prison, highlighting the seriousness of her actions. Melanie Alexia Martin. A former corrections officer at Modoc County Jail in California, Melanie Alexia Martin has been arrested and is facing charges of sexual misconduct for engaging in sexual relationships with inmates under her supervision. The investigation into Martin's conduct was initiated after fellow staff members reported her behavior, leading the Modoc County Sheriff's Office to involve a third party to conduct an investigation. As a result of the investigation, Martin was terminated from her position as a corrections officer. Sheriff Tex Dowdy emphasized the serious nature of the alleged sexual misconduct, stating that the Modoc County Sheriff's Office is taking the matter seriously. California Penal Code 289.6 specifically prohibits certain individuals, including correctional officers, from engaging in sexual activity with inmates. The code states that an inmate cannot legally provide consent to engage in sexual activity while confined in a detention facility. The press release further explains that the law applies to employees, officers, and agents of public health facilities, as well as individuals working for private entities that provide health facility services through a contract with a public entity. Engaging in sexual activity with a consenting adult who is confined in a health facility is considered a public offense under the code. Following her arrest, Martin has been booked at her former place of employment, Modoc County Jail, and her bail has been set at $20,000. The involvement of a third party in the investigation demonstrates the commitment of the Modoc County Sheriff's Office to address allegations of misconduct impartially and thoroughly. By enlisting an independent entity to conduct the investigation, they aim to ensure an objective assessment of the circumstances and uphold the principles of transparency and accountability. The charges against Martin highlight the legal consequences that individuals may face for engaging in sexual relationships with inmates. The California Penal Code recognizes the inherent power imbalance between inmates and those responsible for their care, explicitly prohibiting such behavior. This serves as a deterrent and emphasizes the importance of maintaining professional boundaries and ethical standards within the correctional system. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.